Speedrunning is when you play a game as fast as you can, either trying to beat your own personal best or even a world record, depending on your goals. There are a few popular speed games that many people play, such as Super Mario 64 with its 3 main categories, 120 star, 70 star, and 16 star. Then there's Minecraft, which is heavily full of RNG and precise movement, with random seed being its most popular category. And GoldenEye, which has its own website known as The Elite, where many runners can share their runs, and where IL speedruns, which are individual runs, are the most popular. Now, if someone were to ask you what game you speedrun, and you told them Wii Sports, they would probably be really confused on how you speedrun it. The most popular category in Wii Sports is All Sports, where you beat all 5 sports as fast as you can. If you want to learn more about All Sports, Summoning Salt made a pretty good video on it, because today we're going to be talking about something completely different.
Some speed games have category extensions, where it's miscellaneous speedruns that can't fit on the main leaderboards. For an example, Super Mario 64 has a category extension with runs such as 16 star no LBLJ, 50 star, 31 star, and even all signs and all coins. Wii Sports in November of 2018 got its own category extension with the birth of a speedrun that all sports runners have been dreaming of. Wii Sports All Sports, no baseball.
Holy crap.
The category is pretty simple. It's pretty much all sports minus baseball, and you go through all the sports normally. The first ever no baseball run was a 529 performed by Gamingland. The run was decent, as tennis could have been improved a lot. He also missed a lot of strikes in bowling, had a good hole 1, decent hole 2 and 3, and a decent boxing. 2 weeks after this run was performed, all sports no baseball was added to the Wii Sports category extensions leaderboard, and within days, Plied823 snagged the record with a 520. He got a similar tennis, but a way better bowling by getting 5 strikes instead of Gamingland's 3 strikes. But other than that, they both had similar endgames. But once again, a day later, the record would be improved by 19 seconds by Francesco with a 501. He never submitted it to the leaderboards due to improving his time again by 10 seconds by getting the first sub 5 minute time of 451. In his run, he had a good tennis, but his bowling only had 2 strikes, which cost him a lot of time. But golf is where he made up a lot of his time, especially in hole 2.
Don't be too hard. No, it's not going to be too hard. Okay. Why? Why?
Driver chip is a strat where you can make the ball hit the flagpole and make the ball fall into the hole really fast.
Runners from this point forward decided to incorporate harder strategies to save time, and one of these strategies was the driver chip. On most occasions, the driver chip goes into the hole, but sometimes the ball either lands next to the hole, as seen in Francesco's record, or in the worst case scenario, completely misses the flag and you're forced to reset.
This was the first world record in no baseball to utilize a strat. Other than golf, his boxing was good. Really good run, right?
Stay down.
6,
Please stay down.
7, 8,
Please.
9, 10.
Oh my god.
9.
Oh my god, let's go. Let's go.
6 days later, an all sports legend took a dabble at the category and got the world record by 1 second. His name was Alaska XP2. He had a good tennis, but his bowling was way better as he got 6 strikes. His holes 1 and 2 were good as he also went for the driver chip, but in hole 3, the bunker costed him some time. This record wouldn't last, as the next day, Francesco returned and got the first 4x with a time of 446.
Let's go.
The run had a mediocre tennis, a 4-strike bowling, a good hole 1, a good quick bunker strat, and a way better hole 3 than Alaska. And plus, you can't forget about a really good boxing.
The record would stand for quite a while, but until New Year's Day 2019, Francesco would improve his own record by 6 seconds, getting a 440.
He had a way better tennis, and instead of getting 4, he got 5 strikes, and pretty much got the same golf as last run. And literally, that 1 extra strike saved the run. For a while, the record would stand at 440, and the obvious next goal was to get a sub 440 and get a 4.3x. But who was going to be the first one to get it?
One would be close to breaking the record, and his name was Plied823, as he was only 2 seconds off getting a 443.
This run in particular has notable moments. He was well ahead of Francesco in golf, as he got a near perfect bowling and a great hole 1. Everything was looking good until this happened.
Shot. Let's get this shot right here. No! No, dude, come on.
A missed shot costing him 6 seconds and a chance at world record. A few days later, Danny H09 would be 1 second off of getting the record by getting a 441, being damn close. But not as close as this other runner.
Walk off. Come on, man.
Mr. Jimmy Steele 25 is another all-sports legend, as he is one of the first people to hold record back when Wii Sports was starting to pick up speed. He is also top 20 in the world for 16-star, and we cannot forget he is also Wii U world record holder for 16-star.
I'm a f***ing legend!
Jimmy revolutionized all sports, no baseball, and gone were the days of missed shots and a few strikes in bowling. As history would repeat itself, Jimmy got the all sports, no baseball record within hours of running the category. He beat Francesco's record by a fraction of a second, but would go on and destroy it by another 4 seconds, getting the first 4.3x of 4 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yes! I did it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
This run was perfect for the strengths that Jimmy went for, getting 9 strikes with 2 birdies and an eagle in golf. And after this run was set, all sports no baseball started to lose traction at the top level, and top 5 stayed the same, as it would continue to stay that way for many months. Finally, in May of 2020, 2 runners achieved times within seconds of Jimmy. One was Kiwi Fruit and the other was MON Nomad. Kiwi Fruit has had respectable times across the board, but never actually held a world record. He had his eyes on all sports no baseball and within days took 3rd place. He came back after a day and set a massive world record with a time of 4:33. Kiwi played on the Japanese version of the game, which helped with reducing lag in both bowling and golf. He got 9 strikes and a cleaner beginner than Jimmy. Shortly after, MON Nomad was making a push for the record, and he got a 4.3x, but took a short break. He came back a month later and set 2 PBs in a row. Both these runs had all their own quirks, particularly his first PB being a 4.35, which featured an eagle on hole 1, but was sadly negated with the ball bouncing out of the cup on hole 2, losing him 7 seconds. About a week later, he got a run with a perfect tennis and a very good hole 1 and 2. On hole 3, however, he made an unbelievable shot and got an albatross.
Holy crap.
He was on his best pace ever. Although he missed the first strike in bowling, he recovered and got the next 8. He garnered a 4.29 in the first sub 4.30.
Yes! 429. I did it!
Although this run was legendary, it stirred up controversy in the community. For years, players were able to reset after the golf ball was no longer seen on the screen. However, in Nomad's 4.29, he exited like this. You can see that the ball bounced out of the cup and was fully visible when he resetted. Shots like these have the tendency for the ball to jump back out of the hole and onto the green. The community had a vote on how to handle this run, and it was decided that the run couldn't be verified, as we weren't sure if the ball would have stayed in the hole. The rule was changed, so now all runs that end in a chip must wait for the text, quote, chip in, to appear on screen. This caused the record to default back to Kiwi's 4.33. During this time, players started to make a shift to playing intermediate in all sports no baseball runs. It was known for a while that intermediate was faster than beginner, but was too inconsistent. MOD Implied were the first people to incorporate intermediate into their all sports no baseball runs, as a subpar intermediate would still save time for a good beginner. This would finally give MOD the chance to get a record and not have any controversy surrounding it. On August 12, 2020, he got a run which featured a bunker driver chip on 4, followed by a great hole 5 and 6. The time saved from intermediate gave him a good lead over Kiwi, but would inevitably lose the time in bowling. He was 3 seconds behind Kiwi into boxing, but saved the time back from having a virtually perfect boxing, giving him a 4.32 and a new world record.
Ooh, 432. That was bad bowling. Well, 8 strikes is pretty good.
MOD was still unhappy with this, as it was still not his goal of a sub 4.30. He got to work and a week later got a run that fell behind early but made the time back in bowling. He had a 6-second lead over the record. This run had the possibility of being a mid 4.2x, and after knocking down Shinizuki, he just barely got the sub 4.30 with a 4.28.867.
What the? I did it! God damn, I did it. Wow.
After this time was achieved, it echoed Jimmy's 4:36, and no one at the top level was going for the record. However, by February, one player thought he could take the record. He moved up the ranks and took second place, achieving a 4:31. And on February 7th, he'd just do that. A 4:25 was achieved by Ducky. Ducky is known today as having great times across both of the Wii Sports games. He most notably took the Resort All Sports record by a shock with a 15:49, beating his PB by 20 seconds. Back then, he was just a smaller runner that was looking to get good times. The only problem with this 4:25, however, is that the video is lost to time, making it unverifiable. For a while, no baseball would have a dry period until this crazy new trick was discovered that would change everything.
Disconnect, or DS, is a trick in golf where as soon as you hit the ball, you disconnect the Wii Remote by pushing down on the battery. If you then reconnect the Wii Remote right before the ball hits the water, you can trick the game into thinking you're on the fairway and shoot from the water on your next shot. This also comes with the side effect of not having to wait for the ball to roll, as the ball will stop immediately after the transition from the water and go somewhere unexpected.
Nomad was the first to get a record with it, getting a 4:23. He had a regular tennis, a good hole 4 with a driver chip, a good disconnect on hole 5 and 6, and got 7 strikes in bowling and a pretty regular boxing. But in the same day, Nomad would bring his time down by 8 seconds with a 4:15. He had a regular tennis, all 3 holes were played similarly to last run, and instead of 7, he got 8 strikes in a regular boxing. It seemed the next big goal was a sub 4.0x. It was definitely reachable, but who would be the first to do it? Well, one runner got a 4:14, and shortly therefore after, he'd get the 4.0x by the skin of his teeth, and the runner's credentials certainly did not disappoint.
We got sub 4! We got sub 410! Sub 410! Sub 410! Sub 410! Sub 410!
This player was the All Sports record holder, the Bowling Pro record holder, and many prestigious times across all of Wii series. This player was Shockwave TLS. The 409 in all its glory had its ups and downs. His tennis was perfect, and getting a hole-in-one, he'd inevitably mess up 5 from nerves. His bowling was perfect, but he got hit in boxing. Nonetheless, this record would stand for many months, with no one even getting close. But of course, his run couldn't stand forever. In October, someone came back to snag one last record.
And it was thanks to Paul and Amal telling someone to continue any perfect tennis.
While he didn't get a hole-in-one, at least he did not get punched in the face. But Nomad would only take the record down by 2 seconds, getting a 4:07. By now, MON Nomad has made his presence known by having a monopoly on the golf records and second to Shockwave in all sports. For a while, the record would stand, but 3 months later, someone familiar would return and out of nowhere snagged the record.
What? How is that a 402? You what? Is it really that close? Oh, no! I think I just gained XP. Maybe I didn't.
And with that, my friends, that is where the record stands today. Sub 4 is possible with many optimizations such as getting a hole-in-one on 4 and cleaner movement in golf and bowling. And maybe one day someone will go for the fabled Sub 4. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!